It's a great day here. Just passing through and seeing guys here in the building and our players, and glancing out my window and seeing some guys participating in some drills and stuff outside. So it's fun to know that football's right around the corner. And got this big draft coming up. Thought I'd wear a suit. I think it's a bigger draft than I've been a part of, so that makes it very exciting. In fact, I got a pocket square here and everything. So anyway, with that said, the draft coming up, first I just want to tell you guys all know, but a lot of the public, just how much work goes into this with our scouts, and they're away from their homes 6 months, staying in hotels all over the country, and this thing wouldn't work without them, and they're the true lifeblood of this organization and this draft, and the scouting assistants, everybody that's involved. They do an insurmountable amount of work, and I just want to throw out a appreciation to them before I open this up. Questions?
Jason, as the weeks have gone on, did you find yourself looking at this number one pick sort of more as a burden than an opportunity in terms of all the attention, all the pressure that goes into selecting the first overall pick?
No, never once did burden come up at all. It's always been excitement. You know, after the hangover of the season gets over, you realize that we've got a real opportunity now with this first pick to whatever we do with it to make this franchise better. And I don't think you can find anybody in this building that thinks of it as a burden. It's exciting. Never want to have it again unless we trade up for it, but it's exciting to have.
Jason, how big is this draft for this organization? Not just the first pick, but all of it.
It's huge. It's I personally, I think it's probably the biggest draft in the history of the organization. So we've got a real chance to really put us over the top and get us there, at least get us to a level that we think we're going to be at this year, which is competing for a championship. So it's a great draft. It's a great draft to have the number one pick too.
That said, Jason, have you reached a decision as an organization 10 days out? And is there anything that could happen between now, short of a trade-off or something unforeseen that would change?
Going back all the way to Indy, we said we had a leader in the clubhouse. We still do. If we had a pick today, we'd feel very comfortable making the pick. With that said, we'll wait. We'll use majority of our allotted time. Just, there's always something that could pop up that you wish you would have waited. Talking about, a scenario where somebody offers you something that you can't refuse. So we'll use a lot of time, but everybody in the organization feels very comfortable right now where we're at.
Jason, since 1960, quarterbacks have gone 1-2 only 5 times, and if you kind of look at those 5 drafts, usually in all cases, it really hasn't been 2 home runs in those picks. Do you look at histories and trends and see how things have gone to kind of, does that have any impact on your decision, given the fact that, first-round quarterbacks usually are 50-50 anyway?
Well, yeah, we look at history a lot. I mean, it's kind of embedded in all scouts. You want to try to make comparisons, and you want to see what, when you're building a team, how, the championship teams did it, and the common denominator there, by the way, is building through the draft. But in terms of that doesn't sway us from not taking a pick. I think it's all individual, case-by-case basis. And no, just because of what you just said has happened in the past wouldn't sway us from making a decision for a quarterback.
So you don't look at the situation as one likely could be a bust. Who you go with one that has a higher risk? If
we're going to go with quarterback, we're going to take the one that we think internally that, after much evaluation and a lot of work, that would put us in the best position to have success here in the future.
Why do you think it is such a 50-50 thing with whether a quarterback succeeds or fails, even picked so highly?
Well, with any pick at any position, I think you're going to find a success rate or failure rate. I don't think it's just the quarterback's position, and it usually teams and scouts and GMs and coaches, their mistake isn't that if they make mistakes, it's not from talent, it's from above the shoulders. So you want to make sure you're getting the right person.
Jason, there was a civil suit filed against James Winston the other day. Was there anything, first of all, did that surprise you? And was there anything that you learned that might have been new or would change one way or the other how you feel about him?
Yeah, no. To answer your first question, didn't surprise us, and the information that came out with it was not a surprise to us. We're very confident in the amount of work that we've done. It's, maybe 25 years from now I'll write a book, but we feel very confident in the amount of work we've done internally. We've had work done externally, third parties, on and on and on. So there have been no surprises.
Jason, during that vetting process, did you talk to anyone in the state's attorney's office about their investigation into that accusation? And did you talk to anyone on the accuser's side of that situation?
Well, I'll answer that this way. We've talked to a lot of people. A lot is probably not a big enough word. But we're not going to publicly talk about who we talk to. That's just what we just decided internally. We're not going to talk about the process. All I'll tell you is that the Glazer family, the head coach, the general manager, our staffs, we all couldn't feel more confident about the process that we've gone through so far.
And considering that process and then the results of that process, would you still feel comfortable at this point making Jameis Winston quarterback face of this franchise?
We'd still feel comfortable with the decision that we're about to make, one way or the other.
With that decision, is it already a done deal, other than somebody making you an unbelievable offer? In other words, you said, if you were to pick right now, you're happy. Have the Glazers signed off on you and Lovey, your pick?
Once again, we all feel very comfortable where we're at right now. We're still going to use a majority of the allotted time before we go ahead and make the decision, just because we want to. I think it just makes for good business. I think you just have to do that. There's no benefit for a team to engage in contract negotiations right now or to get a player signed. There's no benefit at all. You can't get the player in here any earlier. He can't start working out here any earlier. You can't talk to him any more than you can talk to right now. So, and because of the new CBA, it's not as difficult as it once was to sign a player. So it's everything, the parameters are already pretty much there. So we're just going to wait. We're going to use all of our allotted time. We're still going to have some discussions internally, but we're spending just as much time right now on pick 34, 65, 109, and so forth.